Hello everyone, welcome to the video. So, in the 30 days of Leetcode Javascript challenge, this is the day 2, and we will be solving this problem, this counter problem that is for the day 2. So, yesterday what we learned, yesterday we learned some concepts of JavaScript, that was the functions, the types of functions, and we learned about the high order functions. What are high order functions? Basically the functions that is inside functions, or a function that is defined inside the function, and it has been given as an argument, or it is being returned from the function. That function is known as high order function. And closure is basically an integral of the high order function. So closure is basically a something, some property in JavaScript. So so that it retains the value, the function that it has been returned from the any function, like here, inside the function add, this add v function has been returned. So it basically maintains a memory of what the value of a was. So what value that has been passed here, this 4 is stored inside this function. And while this function has been returned, after returning the all the memory will be deleted from this add function, memory will be deleted. But after being deleted also, this add b function retains the value of a because of its lexical environment. What is a lexical environment? The lexical environment is the function, lexical environment for function add b is all the parents that are above, like if add is the children of any other function like multiply or any other thing. So there can be multiple parents for this function, like nested functions. So all the functions that are parent for these functions, those environment, the environment of all the functions that are parent for this function is known as the lexical environment basically. So it can access the values of a, like if it will firstly check the previous parent, and if the a was not found here, then it will go for the again previous parent, whether a is present in here or not. Then after the last parent, that is for any function, is the global object, basically the whole file. It will check if there is any variable that has been defined on the global file, and that will then it will take that value only. That's what closure is. So the today's problem is a counter problem. It is also using the concept of closure. So given an integer n, return a counter function. So basically we are returning a function. That's why this create counter becomes a high order function. Okay. Now this counter function initially returns n. So and then returns one more than the previous value every subsequent time it is called. So like here, what has been done, const counter, this create counter is called with a value. This is the value. So after create counter has been called, this function is returned, and it has been stored inside the counter variable. So whenever we are calling the counter variable, the value that was stored inside that, the current value n, that was 10 for this example. So at the first time the 10 will be returned, and the value that was stored will be increased by 1. So now the current value that has been stored inside this function will be 11. So again, if we call the counter function, then 11 will be returned, and the value that was stored will be increased by 1. And this happens again. So we have to just implement this function such that this value gets increases, and the current value gets returned. We can either use we can either use two variables to store the current value and increased value, or we can simply return n plus plus. N plus plus, this is basically a postfix operator. What it does, firstly when this return n plus plus will be called, this statement is called, then at that time the n plus plus will be 1. Because n plus plus is another statement inside this statement, because this is a single statement and this is another statement inside this, and JavaScript handles one statement at one time. So firstly it returns whatever value of n that has been inside this, and as soon as it get returned, the n plus plus will be called, and the increased value will be stored inside the n. So if we run it,